my god. It's like so Mean Girls as well, isn't it? I love it. Oh my god. Hello, welcome to this video. My name's Dan, aka Lucen. I'm a music producer, singer, songwriter, music listener, internet person. And today I'm going to be reacting to Olivia Rodrigo's brand new album, Guts. Let's go. Cool, right, I am very excited. So we're in the midst of a late heat wave in the UK. It's like 30 degrees today, so we're getting on with this reaction because otherwise I'm gonna die of heat exhaustion. Yes, Olivia Rodrigo, her first album, it was really good. Like, I kind of like had like reservations because Driving License I was not a crazy fan of, like, to be honest. The rest of the album for me like really picked it up, and I thought that, like, especially considering like it was her first album, she did such a great job and really conveys kind of teenage angst, brilliant way. And the first two singles from this I've loved so much. So I'm so excited for the rest of the album. What people have been doing recently is actually leaving their top 5 songs of the album in the comments. So please leave your top 5 in the comments for me. I love reading through them. I'll probably read through them on Monday. That's my day for reading comments. But yeah, make sure to stick around to the end of the video where I'll be sharing with you my favourite song. If you are new to the channel, then welcome. My reactions are all to do with the lyrics, all to do with the production, all to do with the artistry. So if you like reactions like that, then make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't checked out any of my videos before, not only did I react to Sour, but I've also reacted to Taylor Swift's entire catalogue and became a Swiftie through the channel. So if you want to check that out, I'll link it for you. And if you are a fan of the channel, you want to support me even further, and you want to watch the full version of this video, you can do that over on Patreon, where there are no edits in any of the songs or anything, so you can enjoy the album in real time. Yeah. So yeah, let's do it. Let's get into it. I only see him as a friend, biggest lie I ever saw. The first song is All American Bitch. Ooh, okay. I am light as a feather and as stiff as a board. Interesting place to start the album. I wasn't expecting light country-esque. Movies that make jokes about senseless cruelty. Okay. I'm obsessed with the production, like all this like light guitars. She loves dropping an F-bomb, doesn't she? Oh! Okay. Okay, so we're going like proper Sum 41. I'm obsessed with the contrast, it's so good. Ooh, nice chords. Oh, nice chords. So, like, yeah. This is totally my era as well. Cool. Okay, so it's got like a kind of rebellious edge to it, like. Oh my god, okay. It's so well produced. I'm pretty when I cry. Grateful all the fucking time. Wow. Oh. I want to go straight into Bad Idea, right, with the sample. Love that. Oh my god, I'm obsessed. Like, I adored how the verses were like this light, like almost like, I'm gonna be the good girl that you want me to be. I'm gonna be this all-American like country girl in a way. And then the choruses were her just like throwing off that persona and just being like, fuck your expectations of me, like I can be whatever the fuck I want to be, you know? And like the way it was produced was just so sharp. It was almost like cartoonish in the way that it's like so like, you know, like instantly. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I sounded very Dorset then. I'm as light as feather, I'm as stiff as a board. I pay attention to things that most people ignore. I'm alright with the movies that make jokes about senseless cruelty, that's for sure. I suppose she's like specifically referencing horror movies, right? Slashers, like late 90s slashers. I'm built like a mother and a total machine. I feel for every little issue, I just know what you mean. I make light out of the darkness, I got sun in my motherfucking pocket, best believe. I got a pocket full of sunshine. I feel like there's gonna be lots of early noughties references. We're gonna have Mean Girls references. We've got Natasha Bedingfield already. I'm obsessed. This is totally made for me, this album. Forgive and I forget, I know my age and I act like it. Got what you can't resist, I'm a perfect all-American. Oh my god, I'm as light as feather, I'm as fresh as air. Coca-Cola bottles that I only used to curl my hair. Was it Naomi Campbell? I can't remember. But then obviously the Gaga reference, right? And obviously like it's the all-American thing. It's like basically kind of leaning into the kind of artifice of like American culture and American capitalism, but also sticking a middle finger up to it at the same time. It's almost like kind of like, yes, I'll do all the things you want me to do. Ugh. You know, I got class integrity just like a goddamn Kennedy, I swear, with love to spare. It's very well written. I mean, her lyrics are always great. I scream inside to deal with it like ah. So that's where it kind of really reveals that she's like, maybe her music and actually this kind of internal pressure, she has to scream to deal with it. Because like the pressure of being a woman in America and being kind of put on this pedestal, you have to look beautiful when you cry, you have to be like maternal, but you also have to be like a harsh kind of like capitalist, like, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's like the impossibility of being perfect for you all the time, and so therefore she has moments where she just goes rah, and that's the song. Love it. Next song, this is Bad Idea, Right, which I have heard and I'm obsessed with it.
Hey.
It's proper giving me like early noughties teen movie, like not another teen movie.
With all my friends, but you're sending me your new address.
I love this bit. It's like her brain's just like glitching out. I love it. I should probably not see you tonight. It's a bad idea, right? See you tonight. Fuck it, it's fine. Biggest lie I ever said. I'm obsessed with this song, it's so good.
That one too is bad. I'm getting in the car, getting all my plans, I know I should stop. Can't remember when. My brain goes
I feel like if the song was out at the time, it would have been a soundtrack to Not Another Teen Movie is my reference, because I love that one. John Tucker Must Die, Mean Girls. Oops.
Fuck it, it's fine.
Only see him as a friend, biggest lie I ever said. And I love this like bonkers guitar solo as well. It's certainly very rocky, isn't it? Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. And it has a fade out, which doesn't happen very often anymore, does it? I mean, it's very much a throwback song. The album so far is very much a throwback album. Early noughties pop punk, Sum 41, Busted, like Paramore, Blink 182, Fall Out Boy. It's like that era. Like she's really, really, really going hard on that. And it's that kind of like era of teen movie, and that's what this song is really giving me, is that teen movie vibe. It sounds like she's on the phone, like the way they've produced the vocal makes it sound like she's leaving an answer phone message. Maybe she's leaving it for her friend, or maybe she's chatting to her friend on the phone. She's like, I probably shouldn't see him, should I? Although she's speaking to him, right? You know, it's like totally that kind of teenage energy where you just go with it. And I just love like the way in which like pop punky vibes not only pay homage to the sound of that time, but also tell this current story. Like she utilizes those sounds to tell the story, which I think is very clever. I think my favorite bit is the bit where her brain glitches out, especially in the second verse where it goes brilliant text painting where it's like the music is simulating her brain like glitching, like a computer glitch. It gets stuck on a note. It's like cool. Next song, this is Vampire, which I have already reacted to. If you want to check out my reaction to Vampire, I'll leave a link for you. I did it in like a catch-up thing, and I've already done the lyrics and stuff, so we'll just enjoy it as part of the album. Think about it in context. So let's go. From the first two songs to this, it's like and down. You know, it's quite interesting. And it's also quite kind of youthful, isn't it? To kind of have songs that kind of go like big, small.
I see the parties and diamonds. Sometimes when I close my eyes, all
There's some forbidden paradise. The only thing that gets me about this song is that like there's like a buzzing on her vocal, and like I can't unhear it. You only come out at night. This is such a clever lead single as well. You all know Olivia Rodrigo for Driving License, so we're gonna give you a ballad, but here's what's next. You know, it's very clever. Oh, bloodsucker, leading me dry like a goddamn vampire.
girl I ever talked to told me you were bad news.
The way I kill all them crazy too.
So convinced just how you do it, and God
Knows I never will.
I've made some
Big mistakes. But also love how this song, the chorus is a build into the bridge. So the bridge is the star of this song. It's very Taylor, isn't it? Like a goddamn vampire. Wow, it's so good. This is the Rocky Horror bit. Would mean you have a heart. big mistakes. It looks so naive. Goddamn vampire. I love how it ends like this. That is so good. God, I love that song. Obsessed. It's just so brilliant. And I love a song that kind of like has an alternative structure. That one really is just building the whole time and it does not let you down. Like it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes right to the end. And I love that the entire song is a big crescendo and it's just so satisfying. It almost kind of gives the sense that you're running from the vampire. You know, it's almost like she got out of the castle and she's like running through the woods and it's like da, 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 da. You know what I mean? It's so visceral and so clever, and like just the way that the music and the production tell the story of the song on top of the lyric is pretty genius, especially for somebody like in the pop landscape and especially for someone who's so young as well. Like, it's crazy to me. So far I'm adoring this album. I mean, I already knew two of the songs. So let's go on to the next song. This is Lacey. Okay, so we're going back to a more acoustic sound.
Skin like puff pastry.
She's talking about a baby.
Not doing well.
All right.
Like perfume that you wear.
Beautiful. Gorgeous vocal harmonies.
If I see you everywhere, could be.
Wow.
Sexy Lacey.
Okay, it's not bad, baby. I'm not sure who this is about. Maybe a friend that she's, you know, not connected with anymore. I'm obsessed with the vocal production on this. Like, there's like obviously her central vocal, but there's doubles to left and right that kind of have this like whispering, moving effect. It's really gorgeous. Ooh. It's kind of gay, this song, huh? Gorgeous. I love how this is really focusing on the vocal harmonies in this song.
Poison every little thing that I do.
Wow. It's almost like she can't match up to this person.
Jealous eyes and how
Right.
they worships you.
Wow. Gorgeous. Oh my god, like I love the kind of like beautiful lacy feeling that like really kind of permeates throughout that song. The way the doubled vocals kind of have this like waving feel, almost like a lace curtain, or like, you know, the literal material. The way it kind of like has this lightness to it, but like the vocals have a much more of an impassioned kind of heavy feeling to them. It's almost like it's like belying the truth of the song in a way. Really nice. Yeah. Again, like the production is super, super, super tight. And I love that is kind of a hallmark of the sound of this album. It's like super tight production where it's like goes from one mode to another really quickly and really like, you know, I just satisfying sound. Lacey, oh Lacey, skin like puff pastry. Beautiful imagery. Love it. Really cute as well. Aren't you the sweetest thing on this side of hell? Interesting, right? Eyes white as daisies. Did I ever tell you I'm not doing well? She's comparing herself to someone, right? And she's like, I can't match up, and that is really, I'm struggling with that. Oh, I care like the perfume that you wear. I linger all the time watching hidden in plain sight. Oh, I try, but it takes over my life. I see you everywhere. The sweetest torture one could bear. So it's kind of beautiful. To me, it could be someone struggling with like not knowing whether they love this person or hate this person. That's what it really feels like, you know, and internally it's kind of manifesting as this kind of jealousy. Like she's like, I can't have what you have. Like the ribbons in your hair, my stomach's all in knots. You got the one thing I want. Try to rationalize people are people, but it's like you're made of angel dust. It's like you're out to get me. You poison everything that I do. I just loathe you lately. I despise my jealous eyes and how they fell for you. I despise my rotten mind and how much it worships you. It's like throughout the song it starts off like, oh, there's this pretty girl, whatever, but it gets more and more insipid as the song like progresses, and at the end it's like she is like so torn. It's like, I hate myself for falling for you, and like I hate that I worship you. I loathe you but I love you. Do you know, I loathe you and I worship you. It's like the real kind of like opposite sides of the spectrum. It gets more and more and more dramatic. I love the progression of that and the way that it works, and again the way the sound design represents the story is just really good. Yeah, so good. On to the next song. This is Ballad of a Homeschooled Girl, which again, more references to that kind of like teen thing. Nice.
I got my tongue lost inside joke.
Okay, yeah. I'm not in on the jokes. I'm trying to figure out social situations. She is really like... Wow. She is like genuinely really a really good top line writer and such a good lyricist.
Guess that he was making out with boys at the whole night. Every guy I like is gay.
Oh god, I feel like we've all known this girl. Showing that you don't kind of pick up on the normal social cues because you've been homeschooled, you know. Oh, social suicide, I see. Oh, nice tempo change. Nice. Oh, okay, we're back up to tempo again. I was like, what's going on? Really leaning into the high school Mean Girls tropes, aren't we? The whole album is like a teen movie. Yeah, that was fun. Not like my favourite on the album. Other ones are stronger musically, but that still has so much fun to it and still is really kind of like selling me on this album concept of like the teen movie. It's like the album to soundtrack the teen movie, you know? I'm sure like Olivia, as this person who is actually quite famous but still quite young, feels like that kind of homeschool girl kind of a lot of the time, you know? She's not having like a regular life. And so I'm sure that when she's around other people her age, she does feel like the homeschool girl, you know, she does feel like awkward and weird and doesn't get any of the in-jokes and all that stuff, and that's probably the perspective that she wrote this from. But it's obviously much more relatable as a listener for it to be through this guise of like the girl who's been homeschooled and then has to go to a normal school and doesn't get it, than her lamenting about the fact that she's famous, you know? So it's quite clever that she's framed it like that. The party's done and I'm no fun, I know. Oh, so she's gone to a party as the homeschool girl. I broke a glass, tripped and fell, I told secrets I shouldn't tell, I stumbled over my words, I made it weird, I made it worse, and each time I step outside it's social suicide, I want to curl up and die. Very cute and very relatable. I feel like that awkward teenage thing is something that I feel like in movies and stuff, nowadays teenagers are like represented as like, I am very confident in my identity, I'm going to tell you this and I'm going to stick up for myself and whatever, you can all go fuck yourselves. Whereas in truth, being a teenager is awkward. You don't look cool, you don't know what you're doing, you're all gangly and you got greasy skin and hair. And I like how this song kind of represents that side of it. Right, let's go on to the next one. This is Making the Bed.
Wanted, so I got it. Another thing I ruined.
I love the texture and the pad and the bass.
Another conversation with nothing good to say. Another day pretending I'm older than I am. Perfect moment. Another thing I forced to be a sign.
Wow.
Sometimes I feel drunk at a club with my fear weather, but it's me who's been making the bed. I'm so tired.
Wow. Oh, I love that. So she's really struggling with living up to expectations of her, but then she's like, oh yeah, you've made your bed, so lie in it. That's the reference, isn't it, you know? And she has to deal with the fact that she's chosen this, you know? Wow.
Because my life feels so out of control.
Yeah. Wow.
Tell me that they love me like I'm some tourist attraction.
Yeah. Oh my god. This is the Dealing with Fame song, really, isn't it? It's also really relatable because I feel like we've all kind of chosen things and then kind of, you know, there's always a downside to your choices, you know, and sometimes it can feel that you're not allowed to feel bad for it because you've made that choice. Even though you might have like chosen this direction for yourself, there's always going to be moments where you feel like shit. Yeah. Counting all of the beautiful things I regret. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god, the imagery. Amazing. Love that. Oh my God, the lyrics in that. The fact that she's using this, like, the phrase, like, you've made your bed, so lie in it. You know, it's that attitude that somebody's, like, telling you, like, you chose this, so you don't get to be sad. And she's like, but I am fucking sad. But then she's fighting with that because then she's like, but I've been making the bed this whole time. I've been making these decisions for myself. And I love how she extends that metaphor one more time at the end, like, pull the sheets over my head. Like, oh, so good. Like, she wants to just hide from it. And I think, yeah, we've all gone through this before in our lives where we've made choices that, like, not that we regret, but there are elements of it that you didn't expect. You know, like, I, like, lived abroad for a while and, like, and it was obviously amazing. And, like, but the thing is, I always had to caveat, like, it's obviously amazing, but I'm also grieving. I'm also, like, lonely. I'm also feeling culture shock. I'm also all these things. And yet, like, when I tell people about it, they'd just be like, oh, but you're having an amazing experience. You should be grateful for it. I don't think anyone actually really said that, but that was kind of the feeling, right? You should be happy all the time because you've got what you wanted, you know? But that's just not the reality. And I love how this song plays with that by using that metaphor. It's turning a common phrase into a metaphor. It's very clever. I want it, so I got it. Did it, so it's done. Yeah, cool. I got the fame. I got the success. Another thing I ruined, I used to do for fun. Yeah, so it's like I used to write songs for fun maybe, and now it's my work. Another day pretending I'm older than I am. Another perfect moment that doesn't feel like mine. A perfect moment that doesn't feel like mine. It's like this disassociation. It's like, it's all got a bit much. It's all a bit intense. Maybe it's just too much for her to handle as like a human, you know? And so she kind of ends up disassociating and being like, everything is too perfect and I can't enjoy it for what it is. Push away other people who know me the best, but it's me who's been making the bed. I'm so tired of being the girl that I am. Every good thing is turned into something I dread, and I'm playing the victim so well in my head, but it's me who's been making the bed. I'm the victim, but I'm also the bad guy, you know? Okay, this is clever, right? So every night I wake up from this one recurring dream where I'm driving through the city and the brakes go out on me. I can't stop at a red light. I can't swerve off the road. I read somewhere because my life feels so out of control. So she's having this recurring dream about driving, which is the viral moment. Driving license was the viral moment that like catapulted her into the stratosphere in terms of a pop star. And now she's having this recurring dream that obviously links to that song, but also it's like linking to her like going out of control. That it's just so genius to like reference earlier work in order to kind of tell this current story. I tell someone I love them just as a distraction, so they tell me they love me, so I'm some tourist attraction. She's feeling like everything's fake. I got the things I wanted, it's just not how I imagined. So it's like really the dark side of being famous, isn't it? Counting all the beautiful things I regret. Well, that lyric is so good because it's like all the beautiful things, it's things that I should appreciate but I regret them, and that is the whole song. Oh my God, that is so well written. I love that. By the way, make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I will be talking about my favourite song of the album. Next song, this is Logical. Lovely piano. We're definitely in a sadder part of the album now, aren't we?
I'd put myself through hell for you, hero, that you always deny.
Beautiful. That melody's lovely.
Falls from the February sky, but now it was all in my mind.
You convinced me it was all in my mind. Really giving me the same person as in Vampire.
And changing you is possible.
Wow. Oh, God, her vocal on this is beautiful. I love that 2 + 2 = 5, but it was never logical. Very clever.
All the things you did to me. I'm the love of your life, 'cause
I love her. God, her voice sounds so beautiful. Changing you is... Oh, it's lovely.
I'm sure that girl is really your friend.
It's like completely falling for someone's lies because you're in love with them.
Argument you held over my head. Girls you could have instead.
Wow.
Can't get you off.
Wow.
Been thinking 2 + 2.
Oh my God. Oh my God, I love this.
It's possible.
Changing you is possible. Love is never logical. Oh, I love it.
That makes me feel horrible.
My God.
God, why didn't I stop it all?
Gorgeous. Love that. That whole last section is really beautiful. Oh, that song was just so clever. Like, she knows how to, like, take a lyrical concept and just play with it in such a good way. It's like, oh, I love it. I fell for you so hard that you had me thinking that 2 + 2 = 5. All this kind of stuff, like, you had me under your spell, you know? It's very much, like, similar to Vampire in terms of the story, but, like, lyrically, it's just, like, internalizing it as well, because she's like, you know, it was all my fault as well. Now I feel like shit because, like, I fell for it. Like, I should have known that love isn't logical. All those lyrics in the middle that were like the real kind of toxic behavior, like him bringing up all the girls that he can have, holding all the arguments over her head, all this kind of stuff. So toxic. But, like, as she said, like, love isn't logical, and sometimes you get stuck in that because you want it so bad, you know, and you just kind of, and sometimes it's like a thing where you don't have as high opinion of yourself, and so you kind of almost like think you can't get any better than that. It's so easy to get trapped in that kind of toxic thing, especially like when these kinds of guys can be so controlling as well. This guy seems to be extremely gaslighty, but, like, you know, when you're in that headspace, you can fall for that, you know? It can be very convincing. They can make you feel like you're the crazy one. The way that she's expressed that through this song is so beautiful. I love it. Brilliant. Okay, let's go on to the next one. This is Getting Back. Getting Back. This is John Tucker Must Die, the song. Gotta be.
Wait, is this the song with the drums?
I met a guy in the summer.
So good.
He said he's 6'2", and I'm like, dude, nice try. Another club, another bar, another dance. I miss him some nights when I'm feeling depressed, and I would say it right now.
Yes. Let's be petty. I love this as like a big sing-along energy as well.
As I'm hitting send, I picture all the faces of my disappointed friends.
Yeah, she's still trying to get over this guy.
But I am my father's daughter, so maybe I could fix him.
I feel like this hook isn't as strong as some of her others. Yes, such teen revenge drama, isn't it? It's like so Mean Girls as well, isn't it? Love it. Oh my God. This literally feels like a song from 2001. I'm enjoying this, like, nostalgic, noughties throwback vibe that we're going through with this album.
At the same time.
I got him good. I got him really good.
So fun. It's like the song that soundtracks the moment where they want to get revenge on the dickhead guy in all of those teen movies. You know, it's the same in Mean Girls. It's like totally a reference to that. Like, that song doesn't feel as strong to me, and does in a way feel like maybe it's resting on the nostalgia to kind of sell it a little bit more than some of the others. I feel like I wouldn't say that for the rest of the album. I do think the album is like taking the vibes of that era to tell her own story, which is just very clever. Using references to connect to our emotion is a very powerful way to tell story, you know, because it's like she knows that we already have all these teen movie references, and so she can put us in that place and tell her own story through that. This one is just like maybe a little bit too much leaning into those vibes. I love the intro. Wait, is this the song with the drums? I met a guy in the summer, I left him in the spring. He argued with me about everything. He had an ego and a temper and a wandering eye. He said he's 6'2", and I'm like, dude, nice try. She's really ripping this guy apart on this album. I want to get him back. I want to make him really jealous. I want to make him feel bad. I want to get him back because then again, I really miss him and it makes me feel sad. It's that moment in like post-breakup where you still are getting over them and you're kind of like forcing yourself to kind of be petty and have that he's the worst person in the world, he's a piece of shit kind of moment. I feel like there's something that we all go through, something that Taylor certainly goes through in her music too. I want to key his car, I want to make him lunch. Oh, I love it. Okay. I want to break his heart, then be the one to stitch it up. So she's really still like admitting that she's obsessed with him, you know. I want to meet his mum and just to tell her son sucks. Very clever. I love that bridge. Let's go on to the next song. This is Love Is Embarrassing. Ooh, fan. Love the drums.
I told my friends you were the one. Kissed some girl from high school when you said space was what you need.
I'm enjoying the tempo.
Don't you think
as I crucify myself. Link it to the vampire again, right?
Cried over your ex-girlfriend's new guy.
It feels like this album really is about the breakup, and then she's kind of like now at the next stage of it, you know? Whereas he's actually like, what was I doing? I love it. Nice. These songs are really well crafted in the way that like the dynamics and the tension and release is just really satisfying to listen to. Nice. I love when they take the bass out in a moment like this. It's just so great. Love it. So fun. I just love like it kind of really fulfills the promise of the kind of pop punk like up-tempo dancing. Feels like we're at a teen disco and we're just like, love is embarrassing. Love it. Really fun. I told my friends you were the one after I'd known you for like a month, and then you kissed some girl from high school. I stayed in bed for like a week when you said space was not what you need. Yeah, that's a reference to a song in Vampire. This does link to Vampire, doesn't it? Don't mean a thing. God loves fucking embarrassing. Losers not worth mentioning. My God loves embarrassing as hell. Seems to be like this is really like looking back at the place that she was like when she was kind of caught in his castle, you know. Maybe that was at the moment like really in it still. Whereas like now it's like after and she's looking back at that song. You found some new version of V and I damn near started World War III. Jesus, what was I even doing? Yeah, it's like looking back at the kind of who you were in the relationship and the way it all went down and actually just being really embarrassed about it. But that's a kind of again, like another part of moving on, isn't it? I give up, but I keep coming back for more. Yeah. Next song, this is The Grudge. Sorry. Okay. Ooh, nice.
If nightmares each week about that Friday in May, entire world was changed. Trust that you took everything I loved and crushed it in between your fingers.
Wow.
Now you ever hold on to every detail like my life depends on it. Now I hold it like a grudge. Never scream, how could anybody do the things you did so easily? And I know, but I don't feel strong.
Oh my God. This is like really the final sad love song about this, isn't it?
When we both drew blood, but man, those cuts were never equal. And I tried for so long. I don't feel strong.
Love it. Oh.
Do you think I deserved it all?
Flowers filled with vitriol. Oh.
Try to be tough.
There's something about like saying try to be tough in such a broken little voice is just
That's fine.
gorgeous.
It takes strength to forgive, but not quite sure I'm there yet. It takes strength to forgive, but
Oh my god. My god, I got chills all over my arms. Like, that was beautiful. Oh my god, I love that. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Just the ballad I needed. Like the sad ballad, you know, like she's really just in that moment after the breakup where it's just fucking sad and she's admits to herself that maybe she's not actually quite ready to get over it. It's like she's kind of gone through all these moments of being like, fuck you, you piece of shit, I'm gonna get you back, blah, 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 blah. Like, but it's all just a distraction from how shit you feel, you know? And like now in this moment, she's just like, I'm admitting to myself that I feel like shit and this whole thing was shit. Oh, love it. Really beautiful. And I love that it went back to simplicity after kind of having these big like rock moments. Like this one really, they took it really intimate. And like those big rock moments are great because it's like, you know, I'm feeling all these feelings, blah, 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 fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. So it means that there's so much space for when it goes down to just piano, there's so much space to be intimate and sad, you know. It's just nicely, really nicely done. I have nightmares each week about that Friday in May. One phone call from you and my entire world was changed. Trust that you betrayed, confusion that still lingers, took everything I loved and crushed it between your fingers. Oh my god, it's so beautifully written. My undying love, now I hold it like a grudge, and I hear your voice every time I think I'm not enough. Oh my god. Her lyricism is just, I just love the poetry of it. I just love the rhyming and the pace of it and the way that it brings you to this like boom, you know. Oh, so good. How could anybody do the things you did so easily? It takes strength to forgive, but I don't feel strong. It's gorgeous. I love how this chorus really focuses on like, I don't feel strong, I feel weak in this moment. And it's very, very vulnerable in that. And again, the way the production and the instrument choice and all that kind of stuff tells that story is so good. And it has been so good throughout the whole album. We both drew blood, but man, those cuts weren't equal. I love that she's referring back to vampire throughout these later songs, you know. Do you think I deserved it all? Your flowers filled with vitriol. I just love that lyric. It takes strength to forgive, but I'm not quite there yet. It takes strength to forgive, but it's just like to end it on that kind of open thing. She's obviously been chatting to Conan. I bet that was Conan's idea. He loves doing that. Gorgeous. I love that. I thought that was just really beautifully well written and simple in a way that like it's really comparative to the rest of the album in a nice way, you know. Let's go on to penultimate song. This is Pretty Isn't Pretty. Okay, this feels like the end of a high school movie already.
Got a bunch of makeup, cover up my face. Started to skip lunch, stopped eating cake.
Shit.
There's always something in the mirror that I think looks wrong.
Wow.
Body's keeping it up. It changes my face, I can never reshape.
Yeah. Pretty isn't pretty enough. Oh my god. Such a good way to put it. The guitar in that little bit just went off. It's like there's a musical reference that it's got to be a song from like Breakfast Club or something, you know.
It's in my phone, it's in my head, it's in the boys I bring to bed.
Yeah.
Pretty is
Beautiful. Yeah. I could change everything about me, but actually at the end of the day, like it's never gonna be enough. I love that central lyric, like pretty isn't pretty enough, and everybody kind of feels it. Yeah, I like that. It's nice. It really does feel like the end of a teen movie, and I feel like they've purposely... It feels like this whole album has been like an homage to the teen movie. It's really like so well put together, so referential. I bought a bunch of makeup, trying to cover up my face. I started to skip lunch, stop eating cake on birthdays, so developing some bad eating habits, which is not good. I bought a new prescription to try and stay calm, because there's always something missing. When pretty isn't pretty enough, what do? Everybody's keeping it up, so you think it's you. I could change up my body and change up my face. I could try realistic in every shade. I'd always feel the same, because pretty isn't pretty enough anyway. Oh, so she turns that lyric around. You know, at the beginning, she doesn't feel pretty enough, and at the end of the chorus, she realises that she's never going to be pretty enough. You know, you can win the battle, but you'll never win the war. You fix the things you hated and you still feel so insecure. And I try to ignore it, but it's everything I see. It's the poster on the wall. It's in the shitty magazines. It's in my phone. It's in my head. It's in the boys I bring to bed. It's all around. It's all the time. I don't know why I even try. And so like this really in that verse, she's really putting it together. Like there's so many things telling her that she's not pretty enough, you know, whether it's like Instagram, whether it's her, you know, the magazines she's reading, it's whether it's the poster that she has on the wall. It's all very teenage, isn't it? It's the shitty boyfriends, you know, everything's pushing her down, and she's realizing that actually I can make myself even prettier, I can make myself even thinner, I can try and actually get to that unrealistic goal, but inside I'm not solving the issue, and that the issue is that I'm sad and I have low confidence. Yeah, really good. I like that. Okay, before we go into the final song, if you have made it this far into the reaction and you're enjoying this video, then you better subscribe to the channel and make sure to check out all of my other reactions, including my Taylor Swift ones and my first Olivia Rodrigo reaction. And here's a shout out to all my patrons. So these guys will support me on Patreon. They get to watch the full versions of all my videos. They also get to watch my videos early, and in the upper tiers, you can even request songs. So you can either make a song request, artist request, or like a full album request, depending on the tier that you're in, and I will react to it, and everybody on the Patreon gets to see all those videos. So there's a number of bonus videos every month. At the moment, it's about 4 bonus videos every month, so you're getting like double the content as well from me. So if you want all that extra stuff and you want to support me as an independent creator and artist, then make sure to go over to Patreon and check it out. Yeah. Links in the description. So let's go to this final song. I'm pretty sure it's got to be a Katy Perry cover, right? Let's see. It's a ballad with some gorgeous chords.
When am I gonna stop being wise?
Oh, it's not a Katy Perry cover. Okay.
Am I pretty? I'm the thing that guides.
Yeah, wow.
wanna stop being great for my age, but
Oh, I said that too.
stop being go out the candles. Happy birthday to me. Only 19.
Right, wow, okay.
You're the best parts of me.
Wow.
Couldn't always be your teenage dream.
Oh my god. She's like, I can't be the teenage dream. I can't live up to this ideal. I like this.
Life ahead of you, you're only 19.
Yeah.
Got all the best parts of me.
That's the thing when you're successful, when you're so young. She's going to be feeling that pressure to actually keep up, you know?
It's better, but what if I don't?
Yeah, wow. And it's that fear of like going into the rest of your life, but through the lens of somebody who has had a lot of success very young, and so it's very, very heightened, you know? Wow. Yeah. What if I don't get better? Wow. Yeah. What's this? What's that voice recording at the end? That's really weird. Beautiful final song. I was like not expecting that. Obviously I was thinking it was like maybe 11-song album, and then the last song was a cover as a reference to Katy Perry. Obviously, like, it is, but it's more like Teenage Dream, the Katy Perry song, is like the perfect teenage life. It's like, you know, we have not a care in the world, we're having a great existence, we're in our Daisy Dukes, we're on the beach having a lovely time. Perfect, you know, the idealistic teenage dream. But this song is like, what if I can't live up to that? What if I can't live up to that expectation? And what if actually all the best years are behind me? What if like I've actually, you know, maxed out my career already had all this success, and I can't actually live up to those expectations for the rest of my life? And it's like something that like everybody goes through, I think, when they're young, when they're a teenager. It's like, you know, everyone says your teen years are the best and all this kind of stuff, and you have this fear of becoming an adult and growing up. But like for her, it's like so amplified because it's on such a like big scale. And I love that this kind of like ended the album, because the whole album felt like a teen movie. And the thing is, it's almost like the rest of the album is kind of like playing up to this like idealistic teen movie stereotype, and then this last song kind of breaks that and says, well, what if I can't live up to that expectation, you know? And I love how that last song just like really undercuts the theme of the album in a way that like almost like makes it even more knowing and clever, and makes you realise that it's actually, the whole thing has actually been designed this way to sound like a teen movie until this moment. You know, it's very, very good. I must say, this album was great. I had high expectations just because like before going into this era, I was like not sure where she was going to go, because obviously to have like such a big first album, you're going to get that like second album, sophomore album, blues type thing. It's gonna be a lot of pressure to live up to it. But for me, like, she exceeded the first album. I think that like this album is much more put together. It like knows that it's referential and it leans into it so hard, rather than like shying away from it and giving royalties off to people because it sounds a little bit like this. She's like, no, this song is a reference to all these movies and all this era, and like I'm gonna lean into that, and that is part of the storytelling, and I'm proud of that, you know. And it feels like the production also tells the story, and she uses the story and the reference of the kind of that teen movie to tell her own story of being 18, 19 years old and having like this crazy heartbreak, but also dealing with the heights of fame and success at such a young age, and kind of then having to kind of come to terms with that within herself, and come to terms with the fact that she might not actually be happy all the time, you know. Like, I love the Making the Bed song for that, like revealing that side of it, you know. Yeah, and so it's like really well put together, really well thought out, and still has brilliant hooks, brilliant lyrics, and really good melodies and stuff as well, like, and well written pop songs. I think it's a much more confident outing than the first one. Yeah, it's brilliant, love it. My favourite song on the album is The Grudge, because for me that one just, in contrast to the rest of the songs, it gets so vulnerable, and I feel like it was such a beautiful moment on the album to have all this kind of like bold, you know, referential storytelling moments, and then to just be like, this is me being super vulnerable. It just was just the perfect thing at that moment in the album, and just, I think the song just comes together beautifully and is just very, very well written. And it kind of like undermines everything on the rest of the album as well. It's like, you know, yeah, this whole time I've been saying I'm really confident and he can fuck off, but this is actually the truth. And so yeah, that for me is the highlight of the album. Let me know what your top 5 songs are in the comments with everybody. I love that everyone does that. Make sure to get on board. I will be reading through them. If you want to check out my original reaction to Sour, then you can do here. Or if you want to check out my reaction to Lover by Taylor Swift, you can do that here.